Good evening and welcome once again to the University of St. Francis and the USF Classic, game number 2 of 3 in today's volleyball triangular. It's the Fighting Saints hosting the Mayville State Comets. Terry Bonadonna along with you for today's broadcast as Mayville tries to make it 2 in a row. They just defeated Governors State University in straight sets, and now they take on the hosts of this little shindig. St. Francis comes out with Brooklyn Withy, Peyton Baird, Hannah Pacheco, Hannah Monfrey, Stephanie Woods, and Katie Zakis in the liberos pink. As they stand on the right side of your screen wearing white, Mayville stands to the left wearing blue as we get this thing underway. Mayville will get the first serve of the game, and it belongs to number 4, Jordan Lucas, who played very well in the victory over Governors State. Here's the first serve of the game from Lucas. It's played on the back line by Katie Zakis. Set up for Brooklyn Withy. The senior from Michigan taps it over. Back the other way. Nicely dug out by Hannah Pacheco. There's Hannah Monfrey stepping in from the back line to knock it over. Victoria Johnson plays it for Mayville. The back line, they play it. Laura Pesa back to Monfrey. Good start to this match today. Blocked into the net and a point to Mayville State. And an excellent start for the Comets on a great back and forth there. Mayville is able to strike first. First point to the game is always a good one to get, but especially when it's that hard fought. A really nice start for Mayville State. Brooklyn Withy gets it over. Here's Pesa, out of bounds. And a nice job by Hannah Monfrey to avoid that ball as it came screaming towards her. She was able to back out of the way and allow it to go over her head and over the back line to even the score at 1. Here's the senior Katie Zakis on to serve. Lear gets it across to Hannah Pacheco. Brooklyn Withy slices it across and down, just out of the reach of the libero Mason Hart. And St. Francis has their first lead. St. Francis 3-2 this season, playing for the 3rd time since the restart in the spring. Here's Victoria Johnson dinking it over. Nice play by Peyton Baird. Well done by Pesa there to keep it alive for Mayville State. Zakis to the back line and over it, out of bounds. Mayville ties it up at 2. Fighting Saints went 1-2, playing non-conference in the fall. Back at it here in the spring. They've not lost a set since returning to action. Nice dig by Mayville State. Here's Withy trying to go across court again, and this time it's returned out of bounds. So Brooklyn Withy has had some success going across from left to right, as she has scored 2 points that way. And here come Desiree Anderson and Lauren Stefanski, the returning All-American, into the game for the Fighting Saints. The serve belongs to Alexis Engst. And a nice kill right there from Mayville State. My view was kind of obscured by the official, but I believe that was Caitlin Lear who got that one down. I always blame somebody else when you can't see something. I think it was Caitlin Lear. It's 3-3 tie. Alexis Engst sets up Stefanski, who drops it inbounds. And Stefanski has her first kill of tonight's action. Stefanski entered play today with a team-leading 46 kills. Just ahead of Brooklyn Withy with 40, and Withy will get the serve right now. Victoria Johnson taps it over. Stefanski pushes it right back the other way. To the back line and off the hands of Withy. Out of bounds to the back wall. Mayville gets the point. This one has started very similarly to the first set in the last match between Mayville State and Governors State. In that one, they were tied repeatedly early in the game. In fact, That one was tied 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then Mayville pulled away. Ended up winning the first set by 7, which proved to be the closest one of the match. Desiree Anderson looking for her first point of the night, and she's got it. She just did get that back line. And Desiree Anderson has the kill. Freshman Anderson has appeared in every game this year for the Fighting Saints and now has 27 kills for the season. Stefanski's serve doesn't quite get that line. Looking for the same spot on the court that Anderson hit a moment ago, but that one a little bit too strong on the serve for the senior Stefanski. And we're knotted up at 5. Here's Taylor Valent, and Valent picks up her first point of the night. Nice strike by Taylor Valent as she goes back corner. And St. Francis is back ahead. Back and forth we go early on in this one. And Hannah Pacheco goes back to serve. A low serve, just gets it over. Tapped across, and a nice dig by Katie Zakis. Stephanie Woods tips it across the net and gets it down for a Fighting Saints point. (7-5). St. Francis has their biggest lead. Another low serve from Pacheco. Returned by Mayville, poked over by Laura Pesa. And cross court, Hadrava returned by St. Francis. Kept alive by the Comets. There's Valent to Pacheco, Stephanie Woods into the net. And it was not returned by Mayville State. It went straight into the net, so it was a fourth hit by St. Francis. It gives the point to Mayville State, and they're within 1. Good game early on. A lot of drawn-out volleys back and forth as Gabby Palmo touches that one for St. Francis. Here's Taylor Valent going a little softer this time. Dug out by Mayville State. Laura Pesa back across to Valent. Peyton Baird tries to keep it alive and does as Hannah Pacheco pushes it over the net. Pesa back line and inbounds. Just out of the reach of the lunging Gabrielle Palmo. And we're tied yet again, 7-all. Natalie Hadrava will serve from the left side. Stephanie Woods to the back line. Here's Valent, and Valent goes right into the net. Valent got over that one just a little bit. Mayville State has their 3rd consecutive point. And they're back in the lead now at 8-7. Valent tips it across. Played by Caitlin Lear. Slicing it across, Aurora Pesa got it in bounds. Line judge initially said out, overruled by the referee who says that ball did land in. Looked like it was just inside the line. Nice hit by Laura Pesa. 4 points in a row for Mayville, and now they've got their first 2-point lead. And we've got a net violation against St. Francis. So Mayville State playing really well right now, and that time they got a little help as St. Francis made a mistake. Mayville took great advantage of the mistakes that Governor State made in the previous match. They've got a 3-point lead as Taylor Valent hits it over. There's Lear bumping it across. Valent blocked. Blocked by Lear and McClanahan. I take that back. Ashley Pyburn. Ashley Pyburn, number 17, was able to get in on that block. And Mayville has themselves a 6-0 run, which means that Kara Courier wants to talk things over. Timeout called by the Fighting Saints. 11-7 is our score. A good start for Mayville State. Very exciting beginning to today's action in this second match of the day. Two teams went back and forth, trading points, and a lot of good long rallies between St. Francis and Mayville State. And now Mayville has taken control, and this is what they did against Governor State. After a tight start, they did establish dominance during the latter stages of that first set, but there's a long way to go in this one. St. Francis just trying to get that 1 point. They can bring on some reinforcements and get themselves back involved. They were playing very well prior to the 6-0 Mayville run. The server is Natalie Hadrava. She has been for a while now. Hadrava, a sophomore from LaPorte, Minnesota. Doing yeoman's work so far. She does have 6 aces on the season. These points, though, typically come after long back and forths. There's Lear. Nice play by Hannah Pacheco. Katie Zakis pushes it over with 2 hands and out of bounds. A little bit too strong on that one. And Mayville scores their 7th straight point. Pacheco for Stephanie Woods. Played on the back end by Amy Sine. Now free ball for St. Francis. Pacheco elects to push it over, as does Stephanie Woods. Returned and inbounds. Just barely got the line. Pyburn and Pesa both playing great up at the net during this fantastic Mayville State run. Nearly doubling up the Fighting Saints now. Stephanie Woods, played by Amy Sine. Here's Pesa. Diving Taylor Vallant keeps it alive, but there's nobody there to receive it. And Mayville State is pulling away. St. Francis completely out of sorts as Brooklyn Withy comes on for Gabby Palma. Zakis to Pacheco, set up for Withy, and Withy goes right into the net. An attacking error on Brooklyn Withy makes it a 10-0 Mayville State run. This thing getting out of hand in a hurry after St. Francis played so well out of the gate. A little bit behind Baird, but Peyton Baird gets it over. Nice job by Peyton Baird adjusting. That ball was tipped at the net and out of bounds. So St. Francis is finally back on the board. That snaps a 10-0 Mayville State run. And it gets the serve back for the Fighting Saints. Hannah Monfrey goes to the back corner. Pesa gets it down. A kill for Elora Pesa. Anna Pacheco tried to make the play for the Fighting Saints, but not quite in position to make that stop. And the Saints, after breaking the Mayville run, are not able to start one of their own. There's Jordan Lucas on the serve. Baird to the back line, well played by Lucas. Victoria Johnson who gets it over. Brooklyn Withy. Tipped at the net, diving play, and Hannah Monfrey can't quite reach it. Mayville State extends their advantage. The Comets outscored Governor State in a 3-set victory earlier this afternoon, 75-48 overall. And so far they've handled St. Francis with similar verve. Pacheco sets up Withy. Nice dig on the other end by Jordan Lucas. Alexis Angst looks for the kill. Gets tangled up with the basketball, and that's still in play. They've got one more hit, and they get it over. A little help from the net. It rolls over and straight down. Mayville has played exceptionally well in this first set, and they catch a little break right there as well. Timeout called by St. Francis as they use Their last one of this first game. 18-8, Mayville's in the lead. At one point, St. Francis led this game 7-5. And things went quickly downhill after that, and they've remained down at the bottom of the hill. Mayville on a 13-1 run. And they have gotten into a groove. Victoria Johnson led everybody in that first match of the day against Governor State with 13 kills. She's barely even been involved during this great Mayville State run. It's mostly been Elora Pesa as the primary attacker. Johnson has been out there and made a few good plays, and they've also gotten some good offensive contributions from Ashley Pyburn. But the defense has really been sensational lately for Mayville, and once Mayville started to get on that run, St. Francis started to make some mistakes of their own. And things have just spiraled in that direction. But we'll see if Kara Courier can calm her team down during this timeout as both sides return to the court, ready to resume action. It's Jordan Lucas's serve. She's won back-to-back points on serves already. Here's Withy. Slices it across, and the return is out of bounds. So out of the timeout, St. Francis does get back on the board. They're within 9. It's Katie Zakis. Victoria Johnson gets it down. Withy tried to kick it to keep it alive, but she had already touched it once. It doesn't much matter. That kick wasn't going anywhere. So Victoria Johnson gets the kill for Mayville. Johnson at 6'2", no longer the tallest player on the floor as Lauren Stefanski comes on for St. Francis. Withy sits to the back line as returned. Johnson pushes it over and gets it down. Another kill for Johnson. So now their top attacker is heating up. Pacheco for Stefanski. Stefanski drills it down to the back line, and Mayville can't keep it alive. So there's Lauren Stefanski, who's 6'4" tall, senior transfer from Loyola, picking up the point. Getting the Saints into double digits, still a long way to try to come back in this one. Here's Johnson. Stefanski going back the other way, and that's back-to-back kills for Lauren Stefanski. Saints are starting to get on a roll. We'll see if they can keep it up on this serve from Alexis Engst. Lear blocked at the net, still alive for the Comets. Here's Zakis setting up Desiree Anderson, out of bounds. Stefanski got back-to-back kills to give the Saints a little bit of momentum, but right back towards the Comets. Engst sets for Stefanski. Pushed back across, and we've got a whistle. The point goes to Mayville State on the net violation. Mayville State's closing in on a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 match. Doubling up the Fighting Saints. Serve from Hart, returned by Brooklyn Withy, and that's down for a St. Francis point.
Point, Fighting Saints.
Saints outplayed Mayville in a tight opening to this first set. They were up 7-5. And Mayville went on a 13-1 run. Since then, things have evened up again. Here's Hadrava, back to Katie Zakis. Brooklyn Withy comes floating in and knocks it to the back line. Laura Pesa there to play it. Withy hits it high into the rafters. Engst for Taylor Valent. Valent goes soft with it, pushed back the other way. Taylor Valent into the net. 23-12 here. Mayville trying to put a bow on a very impressive first set showing. Serve is away from Amy Syme and out of bounds. That one was close. Katie Zakis and Taylor Valent both tracked it back. And it did land out, but they both nearly touched it as it landed just inches outside the line. Close call, but it goes to the Saints. Here's Palmo to Desiree Anderson, keeps it in. Hit high into the air by Mayville. Well, Pesa gets it over. Inks sets for Valent. And Valent gets the kill. Serve for Lauren Stefanski coming. Gabby Palmo makes the diving play, keeps it alive for the Fighting Saints. There's Stefanski from the back. Angst again sets up Valent, and Valent drops it in. Back-to-back kills for Taylor Valent. And the Saints again on a roll. Still a long way to go, but they're playing as well as they've played so far in this first set. Angst again for Valent. This time it's blocked. Ashley Pyburn and Lily Pyle come up with the block. And that makes it game point for Mayville State. Ahead by 9. And trying to finish this thing off, Rachel Hill goes back to serve. Palmo for Angst, now Valent. Valent dinks it over the line. Stephanie Woods, kept alive by Mayville State. Angst for Woods. Woods punches it across. There's Pyburn looking for the killer. Anderson coming back the other way, and the point goes to Desiree Anderson. The Saints are really showing well towards the end of this first set. Again, they were up 7-5 after 12 points. And now they're closing this set on a really nice run as well. They've outscored Mayville 8-6 over the last 14. Those middle 14 that were a problem. Pesa, nicely played by Katie Zakis, but Valent called for the double hit, and that is how the first set ends. Point to Mayville State, and they come up with the victory, 25-16. A first set win for Mayville State, and they take a 1-0 lead on St. Francis. I'll step aside for a moment. Back in just a couple of minutes, we'll have game number 2 as St. Francis tries to get this thing back on track. One set is in the books. St. Francis went on a nice run late, but they end up falling to Mayville State 25-16. Saints got off to a good start. They finished strong, but in the middle, Mayville State dominated. They went on a 13-1 run to turn a 7-5 deficit into an 18-8 lead. And from that point on, the Saints, though they recovered, just never really had a shot at making the full comeback. So they dropped the first one by 9 points, but they finished on a good run. So we'll see if they're able now to carry that momentum over into the second game, as they'll serve first in this one. Looking to take an early lead, Katie Zakis, the senior libero, receives the ball and gets things started for us. Libero stands off to the left of center. She's got her team set up in front of her. There's the whistle, and here's the first serve of the game. Goes to the back line where it's played by Mason Hart. Victoria Johnson gets it over. Brooklyn Withy over the other side, and it's played by Jordan Lucas. Tapped across by Pesa. Nice defense by the Saints. Desiree Anderson picks up the first point of the game. Anderson had a couple of very nice hits in the first set, and she picks up a good one right here to take a 1-0 lead for the team. Into the net, kept alive by Mayville. Angst for Stefanski. Stefanski taps it down. Point for Lauren Stefanski, makes it 2-0 St. Francis. And Zakis will serve another one. Battle for it at the net, pushed over to St. Francis' side. It's Taylor Vallant. Vallant gets it over the blockers, played by Pesa. Victoria Johnson blocked by Stefanski. Blocked by Stefanski again, and this time down for the point. Back-to-back blocks by Lauren Stefanski. The second one, an official block, as it results in the point for Stefanski, who came into play today with 28 total blocks on the season. Pesa blocked out of bounds. So Elora Pesa gets the kill, and she gets Mayville on the board. One serving three here. It's Elora Pesa on the serve. Angst for Vallant, and a big hit by Vallant right into the chest of Pesa, who is not able to return it. Taylor Vallant makes it 4-1. Vallant came into play today, second on the team with a .235 attack percentage. Third on the team with 35 kills. She did miss one match last week. And another kill for St. Francis. This one goes to Peyton Baird. So they're spreading it around here. Baird, Vallant, and Lauren Stefanski have all had nice kills. Desiree Anderson as well here in the second set. But they give up the serve as Hannah Pacheco hits it into the net. Point to Mayville. Serve is off from Mason Hart. There's Pacheco setting for Vallant. Vallant gets it inbounds. No, she doesn't. Out of bounds. From up here, thought it landed in. I'm a long way out from where I stand. That was just barely out. Close call for Vallant and a close call for Mayville, but that one lands out as well. Serving error. Those have been few and far between from Mayville State, now playing in their fifth set of the day. They've won each of the first four, playing in their second match. Not too many unforced errors. This has been a well-played couple of matches from this team. Pacheco for Stefanski, tipped at the net, kept alive, and hit over by Hadrava. But Stefanski's second chance, drops it in. Another kill for Lauren Stefanski. She's having a big second game. And a big start for St. Francis. They lead 7-3. Victoria Johnson picks up the kill for Mayville State. Hot start in this one for St. Francis, but Mayville State is still right there, down by just 3 right now. And they get the serve back. It's Amy Syme. Pacheco for Stefanski. Hit at the net and up into the air by Hadrava. Nice dig by Zakis. Here's Pacheco getting it over and back the other way by Hadrava. So here we are at 7-5 St. Francis. This is the same score we had in the first set when things came off the rails. See if the Saints can weather the storm this time. Stefanski tips it over. Hadrava goes high for it. And the whistle blows. We got a net violation on the Comets. Point to St. Francis. That's a big point right there because, as I said, that was the moment that things went haywire in the first game. And they were starting to here as well. A 7-3 lead. It was down to 7-5. But the Saints do not allow the big run, at least not yet, that they did in the first game. Nice dig by Pacheco. Stefanski for Peyton Baird, and Baird hits it across to the back line. Topped across by Pyle. Baird once more. Baird drives it into Pyle's face and down for the point. A kill for Peyton Baird. And Lily Pyle had nothing she could do about it. Down by 4 now. Baird whips it across, going to the back line and in. And a point for Maryville State. Six serving 9 here as Rachel Hill grabs the ball and takes it back out of bounds. Pacheco sets up Brooklyn Withy. Withy drops it in there, nicely defended. There's Pacheco for Monfrey, and Monfrey hits it a little too hard. Out of bounds, point to Mayville State. Pacheco to Monfrey, now Brooklyn Withy. Withy tries to drop it in the corner, but it lands just out of bounds. So Mayville's within 1. This is as close as they've been since it was 1-0. Withy trying to reclaim a multi-point lead, but Mayville's able to return it. Pace out, blocked out of bounds. So Mayville does indeed come back to tie it. They're on a 4-0 run. And our score is 9 up. Here's the serve from Rachel Hill. Towards the St. Francis bench and down out of bounds on the receiving error. So Mayville State has their first lead of the second set. Taylor Valent checks back in for the Fighting Saints. Looking for a spark now after they controlled the first 14 points of the game. Mayville State has gone on that run, but there's the serving error on the Comets to tie it up at 10. And I mentioned before, Mayville State has not done a lot of that today. And that's one of the reasons they've been able to go on some of these long runs that they've gone on during these 2 matches. They're not causing their own problems, but that time they halted their own 5-0 run. Pyburn gets it over, played by Zakis. Here's Brooklyn Withy forcing it to the back line. Syme hits it up in the air. Now Hadrava doesn't get a chance. Feels the whistle blew before, a double hit. St. Francis back on top. Mayville very briefly led 10-9. Other than that, St. Francis has been in front the whole way. Hadrava kept low, and the Saints can't get it over. We're tied again. Serve belongs to Natalie Hadrava. Valent for Angst. Alexis Angst sets up Brooklyn Withy. And Withy gets it in there for a point. As San tried to defend it for Mayville State. Got her hands around a little bit late though. And whacked it out of bounds. Hill sets it up for Pesa, and Pesa pushes it across court and out of bounds. Pesa had an excellent first set of this match. Attacking error there gives the point to St. Francis. Withy serves. Pushed across by Pyburn. Here's Angst setting up Withy. Brooklyn Withy off the side of her hand gets it down in bounds. Brooklyn Withy, not the most graceful point she'll ever score, but she got it where she needed to. And the Saints lead is back up to 3. They've been up by as many as 4 in this the second set. It was down to 2 on Withy's serving error. Knocked it too strong and out of bounds. And the serve belongs to Mayville State. Jordan Lucas serves. Zakis for Angst. Now Desiree Anderson blocked at the net, but out of bounds. So Desiree Anderson gets the point for the Saints. And Katie Zakis gets the serve for the Saints. Hill for Johnson, and a nice hit by Johnson. Drops it along the sideline, out of the reach of Alexis Angst. And Victoria Johnson continues her very strong play. She gets the Comets back within 2. Angst sets up Valent. Nice play on the back line by Lucas. And Johnson hits it out of bounds. So moments after I sang her praises, Victoria Johnson makes an error on her attack. And the Saints are 9 points away from evening up this match. Out of bounds on the hit from Lear. It got the top of the net. Saints watched it roll, hoping it would land out, and indeed it did. What a serve from Pacheco. Johnson, big hit, and down for a point. Nice set to Victoria Johnson, who wound up and dropped it into the soft spot of the Fighting Saints defense. Here's the serve from Mason Hart. Stefanski did not get the line. Close call for Lauren Stefanski, but she will get credit with an attacking error. She got just a tiny bit too much air under that. Stefanski goes soft this time, played by the libero Hart. There's a block of the net for the Fighting Saints, pushed back over by Hart. Pacheco for Valent. Valent gets the kill. 3-point lead for St. Francis. And what has been a very competitive second set. Saints have led just about the whole way. And Monfrey's serve is off. Returned by Johnson. And Johnson gets the line. Nice placement by Victoria Johnson. Mayville took the opening set 25-16. St. Francis, of course, has already surpassed that number that they reached in the first set. Checo for Stefanski. Nice dig. And the Comets return it. That's down for Peyton Baird. And Baird gets St. Francis back on the board. After trailing most of the way in the first set, the Saints have led just about the whole way in this one. 10-9 was the only time that Mayville State held a lead. They've got their backs against the wall as Lone Stefanski drops in an ace. For Stefanski, that is ace number 3 on the season. And it pulls the Saints within 5 points of a win. Hadrava, cross-court diving play by Monfrey. Nice job to keep it alive. Hadrava again. This time Monfrey stays on her feet to make the play. But a double hit is called on Stefanski. Mayville still hanging in there. They have fought to keep this game alive. Zakis sets it up for Withy from the back line, and Withy taps it over. Hadrava deflected at the net. Here's Peyton Baird. Syme gets it back over and out. A little bit too hard from Amy Syme. The point does go to St. Francis. St. Francis has never really been in control of this second set. It's kind of felt like it, but Mayville State has done a really nice job of avoiding any long runs from the Fighting Saints. So it's been within 4 points the whole way. It's at 4 right now as the Saints try to keep it alive, and they do. Nicely done by the St. Francis defense. Anderson looking for the kill, skimmed the net, but it dropped out of bounds. Here's the serve from Hadrava. Angst for Woods. Stephanie Woods goes across court, returned by the Comets. It's Brooklyn Withy, blocked. And Anderson hit it under the net. The Comets are within 2. There's Angst for Withy. Hadrava returns it. Pyburn blocked by Woods, kept alive by Mayville. Pesa the other way. Angst sets it up for Monfrey, deflected at the net. Rachel Hill pushes it across. Here's Angst setting up Woods. Stephanie Woods is blocked, but the Saints return it. Withy taps it into the net. Slight mistake there by Brooklyn Withy. Makes it 21-20, and a timeout is called by St. Francis. 3 straight points for Mayville State. St. Francis was looking to put the game away. The Comets have kept it in there. And they are down by only 1. Again, they've only led 1 point in this game. It was at 10-9. St. Francis found themselves ahead early, but struggled in the middle stages as Mayville State scored 5 straight points to take that 10-9 lead. Since then, St. Francis has come back to life, and they've controlled the lead the entire time, but Mayville State has scored 3 in a row, and the little run that they have developed so far has put themselves right back in contention to take a 2-0 lead in this match. St. Francis tries to even it up here and make it best of 3 the rest of the way. Natalie Hadrava will serve for Mayville State as we return to action. Withy for Angst. Anderson gets it down. It's a nice point for Desi Anderson. And she gives the Saints a 22-20 lead. Brooklyn Withy serves. Pesa inbound. Nice hit by Aurora Pesa. Mayville State again is within 1. Angst, Anderson, Woods, Palmo, Valance, and Zakis on the floor for St. Francis. Trying to combat this Jordan Lucas serve. Got away from Palmo, but a miss hit by Pesa. And the Saints catch a big break as they get the point and a 2-point lead, 23-21. A miss hit initially by Palmo. Pace's eyes lit up, but she whiffed on it. And now Zakis hits it out of bounds. It remains very close, 22-23. And Alora Pesa gets the serve. Just to the right of center, here it is. Zakis for Angst, setting up Taylor Vallant. Vallant dinks it over the line. Back across. Angst this time for Stefanski, and a big hit for Lauren Stefanski. Game point for St. Francis now. Highly competitive second set so far. Hannah Pacheco tries to put it away. Here's Pesa for Victoria Johnson, and Johnson gets the kill and gets the Comets back within one. 24-23. We have not been tied since it was 11-all. But Mayville State can force the Saints to get at least a couple more points with a victory on this volley. Stefanski gets it over. Victoria Johnson back across to Katie Zakis. It's Taylor Valance. Valance got it over the blockers and out of bounds. We're tied at 24. So 25 will not be enough to get the win here. Mayville has come up big with their backs against the wall. Valance gets it down in front of Mason Hart. And St. Francis will get their third game point. Here's the serve from Hannah Monfrey. Right on the back line by Lucas. Johnson gets it down as the Saints look for the block. Can't quite get it across. We're tied at 25. Mayville State keeps on surviving in this second game. They've been down just about the entire way, but they won't allow St. Francis to put it on ice. There's a block by the Saints. Lauren Stefanski and Brooklyn Withy up at the net. In on that block, and St. Francis gets their fourth set point here. This time the serve belongs to Stefanski. A miss hit by Mayville State. Stefanski gets the ace, and the game belongs to the Fighting Saints. 27-25, a hard-fought victory for St. Francis as they even things up at one win apiece. So it'll be best of three from here on out as St. Francis tries to remain unbeaten in the spring. Mayville State tries to remain unbeaten at least today. We'll take a break here. Back in just a couple of minutes with set number 3. We're tied at 1. Set number 3 about to commence here at St. Francis. The Fighting Saints and Mayville State knotted up after 2 sets. A dominant 13-1 run about halfway through the first set led to a fairly easy win for Mayville State. They took out St. Francis 25-16, but set number 2 was a lot tighter. St. Francis led the entire way and held off a late charge from the Comets for a 27-25 win. Now here we are in the third. Desiree Anderson gets the first point of the game, much as she did last time. In fact, it looked a lot like that. The first point of the second and third sets nearly identical as Desiree Anderson puts the team up 1-0. Hannah Pacheco goes back to serve. Brooklyn Withy to Pacheco, who sets up Valance, and Taylor Valance has the kill. We're tied at 1. Excuse me, 2-0 now, St. Francis. Good serve from Pacheco, but it's returned by the Comets. Pesa out of bounds. Sliced it a little bit too far. Second straight game, the Saints have built a 3-0 lead out of the gate. It served them well in the second set. It turned out to be just the difference they needed. They ended up winning by 2. Victoria Johnson taps it over. Nice play by Stefanski to keep it alive, but the Saints can't get it back over. So just as in the last game, the 3-0 start ends at 3-0. As the team in blue gets on the board for the first time. 1 serving 3 here. Serves away from Laura Pesa. Lauren Stefanski looking for the kill. She's got it. Big hit from Stefanski. Hannah Monfrey comes on to serve. And Hannah Monfrey gets the ace. A soft serve from Monfrey. She's able to drop it in there and make it a 5-1 lead. Next serve from the left side. Cuts across court to Mason Hart. And out of bounds on the attack from Lear. Dominant start for St. Francis in this one. Even though they led for the entire second game, except for a couple of points late. Mayville State's biggest lead in that second game was 1. They get on the board here and make it 6-2. I was just going to say, even though St. Francis led just about the entire way in the second game, they never had a lead as big as 5. They were up by 5 pretty much right away here in the third set, but it's down to 4 now thanks to that point from Mayville State. There's Brooklyn Withy, blocked. Victoria Johnson and Lily Pyle at the net for the block there. 2 in a row for the Comets. Lauren Stefanski drops it in. Nice hit by Stefanski. Her team leads by 4. And Stefanski's got the serve. Johnson, played by Stefanski. Here's Baird. Stephanie Woods gets it across. Johnson blocked by Withy. Mayville State still alive on this volley. Woods for Withy. Nice hit over, but a great diving play by Hannah Monfrey. Keeps it going. Monfrey tries to make another diving one. This time comes up short. And the point goes to Mayville. One of the best rallies we've seen all match right there. Some great defensive heroics. But it goes Mayville's way. There's Pacheco for Peyton Baird, and Baird sneaks it in. kill for Peyton Baird, makes it 8-4. Desi Anderson back in for the Fighting Saints. Alexis Engst back to serve. Blocked by Withy, out of bounds. Point to Mayville. Here's Rachel Hill's serve. Monfrey to Inks to Stephanie Woods. Nice hit, Stephanie Woods, as she gets the kill. And the Saints lead 9-5. St. Francis has had no problem building early leads. They've done it in all 3 games. Mayville State has come back in each of the first 2. Saints will try to hold them off here in the third as Katie Zakis chases that one down, dives, and despite the strong effort, not able to get there. Point to Mayville. We're tied 1-1 after a comfortable Mayville State first set win. And a very tight second set win for St. Francis. Here's Valent. Paelmo, nice dig off the hit from Elora Pesa. Katie Zakis whacks it over. Pesa goes across to Valent. Zakis sets for Valent. Valent pushes it across. Taylor Valent again. Into the net, and the point goes to Mayville State. 2 in a row for Mayville. This is what they did last game. They were down 9-5. They scored 5 in a row. Here's Anderson. And Anderson does not allow the Comets to go 5 in a row this time around as she cuts their run at 2 straight points. And puts St. Francis back ahead by 3. Desiree Anderson has played well in this third game so far. Blocked into the net, and that's the point to Mayville State. So the Comets are keeping it close, as is their wont. The second set loss here was their first defeat of the day. They swept through Governor State earlier this afternoon, so they won each of their first 4 sets. This is the 6th one they've played today. Anderson gets it over. It's returned by Mayville State. Elora Pesa to the back line. Inks for Anderson, blocked by Pesa. Elora Pesa continues her strong showing as she pulls Mayville within 1. Here's the serve from Jordan Lucas. Inks for Stefanski, big hit. Nice return by the Comets. Johnson sends it into the net. The attacking error on Victoria Johnson puts St. Francis back on the board. Their lead is 2. Hannah Pacheco gets the serve. Johnson tipped at the net, but it drops on St. Francis's side, so the point goes to Mayville State. Another close one here, 11-10 our score. St. Francis leads. Mayville State serves. It's Elora Pesa, played by Paelmo. Pacheco to Stefanski, goes soft with it, and a point for Lauren Stefanski. Anna Monfrey will get the serve for the Fighting Saints, who have not trailed in this third set. In fact, since the end of the first set, they've only trailed once by 1 point. Sent into the net by Lily Pyle. And the Saints extend their lead on Pyle's mistake. Another serve from Monfrey. Pesa to Johnson, blocked at the net by Lauren Stefanski. 3 straight points for the Fighting Saints after Mayville was sniffing a tie score. Saints trying to create some distance here and take the lead in the match. On-free serve goes to the back line, and it goes over the back line. Floated it a little bit too far, and St. Francis's 3-point run ends on a serving error. Checo for Withy. Withy slices it softly across. It's returned by Mason Hart. There's a tip at the net by the Saints. Zakis for Withy. Withy rolls it across. Stefanski dumps it in. Another point for Lauren Stefanski. And a timeout called. Here we are in our 6th set of the game, and it's the first time that Mayville State has called the timeout. They find themselves trailing by 4, starting to get late in this 3rd set. And it is the 6th game played by Mayville State. They won relatively easily in the first 3 against Governor State. The first one was a good battle. The next 2, though, went pretty decisively in the Comets' favor. But they've had to fight hard against St. Francis here. All 3 games, especially these last 2, have been close. A lot of long rallies, a lot of emotion out there on the floor. And when you're in your 6th set of the day and all that's going on, you find yourselves down by 4 points. It's a good time to regroup, and that's exactly what Lindsey Johnson is doing. 13th year head coach of the Comets. It'll be St. Francis's serve when we return to action. Lauren Stefanski is going to take the serve. Stefanski is already in position, ready to go with the ball just to the right. Off center court for St. Francis. We're ready to go. Stefanski's low serve is played by the libero Mason Hart. Here's Hadrava. She drops it in. Hadrava just out of the reach of Hannah Monfrey and out of the timeout. Mayville is able to get back on the board. Withy for Pacheco, right back to Brooklyn Withy. And across to Hart. Billy Pyle gets it over, a sliding play by Zakis. There's Brooklyn Withy. And back and forth we go. Monfrey to Pacheco to Peyton Baird, and Baird has the point as Alora Pesa mishits the defense. (16-12) St. Francis. The serve belongs to Alexis Engst. Stephanie Woods at the net, hit it twice. A double hit by Woods makes it 13-16, Mayville with the serve. And Rachel Hill will do the honors. Engst for Withy. Withy sends it into the net. The back-to-back mistakes made by St. Francis have opened the door for Mayville State. We're back to within 2 points now. Engst sets up Woods, and Woods hits it out of bounds. All of a sudden, the Fighting Saints are struggling on the offensive end. Their last 3 attacks have all resulted in errors. And Mayville can tie it up here. As close as it's been in a while. Anderson gets the point for St. Francis. A big kill for Desiree Anderson. And instead of a tie score, we find St. Francis back up by 2. Here's Withy's serve. It's an ace off the side of the arm of Amy Sine. And a big point for Brooklyn Withy, as moments ago Mayville State had a chance to tie the score. Instead, the Saints have a 3-point lead, and Withy gets another serve. At the net, Stephanie Woods is able to poke it back over. A block by St. Francis. Woods and Anderson up at the net. That makes it 19-15. St. Francis again in control of this one as they try to go ahead 2-1. Withy sends it away. Played by Amy Sine. Here's Hill. Pyburn, nice dig on the other end by Katie Zakis, and Anderson hits it over. Free ball here for Mayville State. Pyburn blocked but out of bounds. And Pyburn gets the kill. Mayville State desperately needed that point. They got it. Still in trouble in this game as they trail by 3 late. But that one would really have put St. Francis in the driver's seat if they could have gotten it. As does this one. Anderson has another kill. And she continues a big third set as a timeout is called by Mayville State, trailing 20-16. This is where we were in the second game as well, and Mayville State got going after this point. Came back to tie the score at 24 all before eventually falling 27-25. So this is a long way from over. And I stand by what I said a moment ago about how important that point from Mayville State was that made it 19-16, because 20-16 looks a lot better than 20-15 does. Mayville still hanging around, but St. Francis is a couple points in a row away from really stomping on the visitors and putting themselves in position to take that 2-1 lead. You know a team's doing well when they come out of a timeout with more than 30 seconds remaining on the clock, and St. Francis has done that twice in a row. You know they're either doing really well or they're doing really poorly if that's the case. And when they're doing really poorly, they come out of a timeout early. It's usually because the coach has a few choice words and then wants to throw them right back out there. I think Kara Curry is feeling really good about where they stand now. Katie Zakis gets the serve. Her team leads by 4 points. Here's Pesa, blocked by Anderson. Desiree Anderson has had a huge third set. Doing it mostly on the kills, that time on a block. Anderson picks up her 13th block of the season. And the Saints are in control, 21-16. Here's Pesa, tapping it over the blockers. Zakis sets for Valent. Valent goes to the back line. Mason Hart there to play it. Angst for Valent, and Valent hits it over. Stefanski tried to block that one, but dropped it on her side, so Pyburn gets the kill. And it's a big point for Ashley Pyburn. Her team's not dead just yet. Trailing 21-17. Valent gets the first hit to Angst. Anderson blocked and down for a point to Mayville State. 2 in a row for the Comets as they keep on kicking. Jordan Lucas, who started us off about an hour and 10 minutes ago with a serve, serving again here. It's not the first time, there's been plenty in between. Valent tips it over. And Lucas and Johnson just stare at each other. The ball drops in between them. A communication snafu. Benefits St. Francis here as they get one step closer to 25. Pacheco's serve is short. It's played by Hart. Stefanski gets the line. Just barely hit that line. And Lauren Stefanski has the point for St. Francis. Pacheco's serve. Received by Lucas. Johnson looking for the point. Paelmo there for the dig. Here's Peyton Baird, blocked. And it's out of bounds as Paelmo, valiant effort, can't quite save it. Mayville State gets the point. Pace's serve to the back line and Paelmo. Stefanski kills it for St. Francis. And they'll get as many as 5 straight game points. It's 24-19, and Hannah Monfrey will be the last one to serve in this game for the Fighting Saints. Lear gets it over. Nice dig by Pacheco. Pushed back by Victoria Johnson. Another good play by Hannah Monfrey. And we play on. Baird spiked back the other way by Caitlin Lear. And Mayville State survives to see at least one more point. Here's the serve from Hart. Pacheco for Stefanski. Stefanski taps it softly. Played by Pyle. Johnson to the back line and Zakis. Now here's Brooklyn Withy. Nice dig by Hart. Hadrava just out of the reach of Hannah Monfrey. And the point goes to Mayville State. St. Francis has had some trouble closing out the Comets here. It took them until their 4th game point before they finally won the second set. This is their 3rd straight chance here in this one. Withy, out of bounds. Was it tipped? Withy claims it was, and it was. Tipped by Mayville State, and that's how this one concludes. 25-21, St. Francis comes away with the 3rd set victory, and they have taken control of this one against Mayville State after dropping the 1st set by 9. They've come back with a couple of close wins, and we head to the 4th set with St. Francis, the team potentially getting set to win the match. 2-1 they lead. I'll step aside, back with set number 4 in just a couple of minutes. 2-1, St. Francis leads Mayville State. We're just about set for the start of the fourth set here. Well, the good news for St. Francis is they're only 25 points away from taking the match. The bad news is they have not won a match this year in more than 3 sets. They're 3-2 on the season. Both of their losses have come in 4 sets. And all 3 of their wins have come in straight sets. So it's going to be a new result one way or another here. Either they're going to win in 4 or win or lose in 5. I guess that was bound to happen at some point. Today's as good a day as any to lose a game and win a match for the first time this year as Katie Zakis gets us underway. Victoria Johnson taps it across. Here's Lauren Stefanski getting it down for the point. Saints strike first once again. I think they've done that in all 4 sets, definitely in the last 3. Hill for Johnson. Nice recovery by Taylor Valance. Here's Valance looking for the kill. Zakis plays it for the Saints. Stefanski taps it over. And down in the corner for a point for Victoria Johnson. So in each of the last 2 games, St. Francis actually scored the first 3 points. This time Mayville State is able to even it up right away. Angst for Anderson. Played by Mayville State and back over. Here's Lear, well played by Zakis. But then Withy gets it back across. Pace of the first one to touch it. Blocked by the Saints. Lauren Stefanski drops it down. Stefanski has come up big today. Nothing new there. She came in leading the team in kills, blocks, and hitting percentage. She's led the team in all those categories today, too. Monfrey for Stefanski, and Stefanski's got another kill. Three to 1, St. Francis has the lead. The serve belongs to Hannah Pacheco. And somehow Mayville State gets it over, using every part of the body there. Here's Johnson. Pacheco hits it high into the air. Back across by Withy. Nice dig by Zakis. Pacheco pushes it over to the back. And may have been going out, but it's played by Jordan Lucas, keeping it safe. This one does go out. And the Saints pick up the point after a long back and forth. 4 to 1. 4th straight game that St. Francis has jumped out to an early multi-point lead. Johnson drops it in, just in front of the diving Pacheco. Nice hit by Victoria Johnson. Mason Hart serves to the back. It's Withy. Stefanski, beautiful hit. And Lauren Stefanski has herself another kill. Five to 2, St. Francis holds the lead. Trying to improve to 4-2 on the season. Trying to hand Mayville State their 5th loss of the year. Tough play for Mayville State after the initial hit from Jordan Lucas, but they do get it over. Now a chance for Stefanski, and Stefanski wraps it into the back corner. Another kill for the All-American. 6 to 2. Those 4 losses for Mayville State, by the way, they might be twice as many as St. Francis, but in a lot more games. Victoria Johnson returned by Stefanski. There's Hadrava. And Pacheco can't get any lift on her hit, so Mayville State gets the point. St. Francis came into today with a record of 3-2. Mayville State is 14-4. Of those 18 games, 16 came during the fall. Picked it up again this week. Good block at the net by Pyburn, but Whitty's able to get it back across. Pyburn gets the kill. Prior to this week, Mayville State had not played since October 29th. They've got another half of the season still in front of them. Withy knocks it over as the Saints are able to avoid the miscue. And the rally goes on. Pyburn blocked by Stefanski. Lauren Stefanski has gotten nearly every point in this game so far for St. Francis as they lead 7-4. She grazed the top of the net on the serve. Mayville State gets it back across. Now battle for it at the net. Put in the air by Peyton Baird, but straight off the scorer's table. It's 7-5. It's always 7-5, one way or another. We always get to this point where St. Francis has a lead of exactly this score. And here we are again in the fourth set. And Pacheco can't save that one. It's out of bounds. Mayville State gets the point. Serve from Rachel Hill is out of bounds.
USF on the serving end.
So the Saints are back up by a deuce. And Alexis Engst gets the serve from the right side. Pesa across to Katie Zakis, and Saints have a chance here. Hannah Monfrey played on the back line by Syme. Stephanie Woods gets it over, and this time Syme can't keep it alive. So Woods gets the kill for the Fighting Saints. Puts them ahead by 3. Pyburn. Angst is able to keep it alive for the Saints. Monfrey gets some help from the soft net and gets the point. Here's the serve from Angst. Zakis there with the dig. Now Anderson. Natalie Hadrava drops it in front of Hannah Monfrey. Nice hit by Hadrava. Mayville State, as they've done the last 2 games, hanging around. St. Francis has trailed at only 1 point in the last 3 games combined. That's inbounds. An ace for Mayville State. Brooklyn Withy thought it was hit well over her head, let it go, and it drops just inside the line. Back-to-back points for Hadrava. Looking for 3 in a row. Good defense by Rachel Hill. Here's Pesa, and Pesa gets the kill this time for Mayville State. It really is amazing that in 2.5 games, you can only hold the lead 1 time by 1 point and still have kept it as close as Mayville State has in all 3. Withy gets the kill. The Comets have never allowed the Saints to pull away at any stage of the last 3. We'll wait to see what happens as we go forward in this one. We're only just about halfway through it, but Saints have had the lead the whole time, and credit to the Comets. They do not buckle when they fall behind. Hadrava. Diving play by Zakis. Here's Valance. Valance goes soft and gets it down. The lead is back up to 3. It's been as many as 4. Gabrielle Paelmo is the server. And she hits it far to the right. A little bit too far. It's out of bounds. Service error for Paelmo. And here comes Jordan Lucas to get a serve away. Taylor Vallant goes to the back line. Lucas plays it for the Comets. Vallant blocked. And there's the 4th hit for St. Francis, so Mayville State gets the point. Comets again within 1. Jordan Lucas looking to help her team to a tie. And she does just that with the ace. 12 all. First time we've been tied since early in the 3rd set, and a timeout is called by St. Francis. 12-12. Mayville State trying to keep this match alive and force a decisive 5th set. St. Francis is trying to get by Mayville State so they can get ready for their next match. They'll take on Ottawa University next. Ottawa fresh in from Arizona. I think I just heard their plane landing outside the front door here at the Sullivan Center, so they should be ready to go for their match against St. Francis, which is scheduled to begin at 7, but looks like it'll be a little bit later than that, depending on how long this one goes. So that'll be the 2nd match of the day for St. Francis. Mayville State has already played 2. They knocked off Governors State 3-0. The closest of those 3 games was the first one. It was 25-18. This has been a much harder battle for them, although it didn't start out that way. They did take the first set 25-16. Since then, though, it's been all Saints, more or less. They've won all of the sets anyway. They've not been dominant, 27-25 and then 25-21. And here we are tied in this one, 12 apiece. So Mayville State has actually outscored St. Francis in the match as a whole. They've scored 3 more than the Saints have, but it is the Comets who find themselves with their back to the wall. Serve from Jordan Lucas, received by Zakis. Here's Anderson, tipped at the net. Mayville State not able to get it down. So St. Francis does retain their lead at 13-12, as they've done most of the night. Anytime Mayville State has threatened, St. Francis has come up with a big point, and they just did it again. They're now trying to distance that lead to 2. Zakis, Paelmo, and Vallant gets it over. Johnson drops it in. And Zakis tried to pancake that one. I'm not sure if she got her hand on it or not, but whether she did or didn't, they weren't able to keep it alive. So we're tied again. 13-13, and once again, Mayville State has a chance to take the lead. Anderson tips it across, and Desiree Anderson gets another point. Anderson, the freshman, has been the one who's seemingly more often than anybody else gotten the biggest points when the Saints have needed them the most. She's gotten the last 2 for St. Francis as they lead by 1. And a point that time for St. Francis without any heroics necessary. A double hit for Mayville State. And the Saints are no longer on the verge of falling behind. Their lead is up to 2. Johnson, big hit. Knocks it off of Hannah Pacheco and down for the Mayville State point. Here's Mayville State playing in their 7th set of the day. They haven't held the lead essentially in the last 3 games. Pacheco to Stefanski. And Stefanski gives the Saints an extra point on their lead here, 16-14. Well, I am impressed by Mayville State. Not that playing 7 sets in one day is anything too out of the ordinary, but you do wear down as the day goes on. And it becomes seemingly harder and harder to fight the longer you are behind. And they're behind by 3 now, as Stefanski and Baird step in for the block. Mayville State has not folded up and gone home. Every time they find themselves down by 3 or 4, they make a push. Trying to do it again right here. Pacheco for Stefanski. Blocked, right back to Stefanski. Pushed over by Pacheco. Here's Johnson. Nice play by Zakis. Monfrey. Diving play, but the Comets are able to get it back across. Withy finishes it off for St. Francis. They've scored 3 in a row, and their lead is 4 points. 18-14. And a timeout is called by Mayville State. Last gasp now for the Comets. They need to get to 11 before St. Francis gets to 6. If they want to keep this alive for a 5th and deciding game. The longer this one goes, the more the Saints feel confident that this will in fact be the deciding game. Saints have won their last 2 matches since coming back from their long winter break. Saints played 3 matches back in mid-October and then nothing until early February, but they're 2-0. They've won in straight sets in each of their first 2 before dropping the first one today. So they are back in control of this match. And they'll play one more later tonight against Ottawa. Mayville State is done for the day after this, but they'll stay in the Chicago area. They're going to head out to Palos Hills, I think, or Palos Heights, one of the Palaces, wherever Trinity Christian is. That's coming up tomorrow. Anna Monfrey gets it over the net on the serve, and away we go. Nice play by Zakis. Pacheco to Monfrey, and Monfrey hits it into the net. Mayville called the timeout knowing that they needed a point. They got that point. And now they're within 3. Pacheco for Stefanski, tipped at the net. Adrava across to Zakis. Now Brooklyn Withy goes straight down the middle and kills it. Brooklyn Withy gets the Saints 1 point closer. They're just 6 away now. Here's a serve from Lauren Stefanski. Mason Hart. Hadrava hits it over. Now it's Monfrey to Peyton Baird. A nice diving play there by Sign. And a strong finish by Ashley Pyburn. Pyburn's kill gives Mayville the points, and they get the serve back. Rachel Hill does the serving duties for Mayville State. Peyton Baird got too much air under it and floated it out of bounds. 2 in a row for Mayville State, so they're within 2 points now. As usual, they fell down by 4 and picked themselves right back up to go on a little run of their own. Withy into the net. And Mayville State is playing for the tie on this serve. Monfrey to Pacheco. Pacheco sets up Stephanie Woods, and Woods slices it out of bounds. We are tied at 19. 4 straight points for Mayville State. And again, they'll have a chance to take the lead here. They have not led since it was 10-9 back in the second set. In fact, that's their only lead of the last 3. Saints get it over. Comets try to return it with a Drava. Tapped across to Withy. There's a set for Valent coming up from the back line. Blocked. And Mayville State takes the lead. Ashley Pyburn once again comes up with the block, and Mayville State has their first lead since early in the second set. They've scored 5 in a row. Pacheco for Withy. Withy taps it over, and Hadrava comes in for the save. Hit right into the net by Rachel Hill. A costly mistake for Mayville State. They had all the momentum. A miss hit by Hill ties it back up at 20. So it's a race to 5 now as Alexis Engst gets the serve. Blocked by Anderson, kept alive by Mayville State, and Mason Hart hits it over. Stephanie Woods blocked, and they are able to get it across. Another chance here for St. Francis though. Withy drops it in. Point for Brooklyn Withy. (21-20). St. Francis had led the entire game. Mayville State came back with 5 straight points to take a 20-19 lead. The Saints have scored 2 in a row. Pyburn taps it over. Anderson gets it back across and on the line. A high looper from Desiree Anderson. And the Comets let it go. It dropped just barely on top of that line. Big point for the Fighting Saints. Hadrava gets it back for Mayville State. What a match this has become. Game 2 was a 27-25 St. Francis win. Game 4 has been even closer throughout. Engst for Anderson. Anderson forces it across. Now Pyburn tipped at the net. Valent and Zakis keep it alive. Anderson forces it to the back line. Battle for it at the net. Somebody went across, and it was Alexis Engst. Engst is called for the net violation, and Mayville State has tied the score at 22. There's Engst setting up Anderson, a little behind her, but Anderson gets it over. And Elora Pesa drops that ball just in bounds. Big hit for Elora Pesa. Mayville State has the lead, and St. Francis calls a timeout, trailing 23-22. What a game we've got going here with St. Francis ahead in the match, 2 wins to 1. Mayville State won the first set 25-16. Since then, they have never at any point in almost 3 entire sets led by more than 1. And yet they find themselves in prime position, 2 points away from forcing a 5th set. They have shown remarkable resilience throughout the last few games. And they've gone on some good runs as well. The big one in this game, they were down 19-15. It looked like it was close to a done deal. And then they scored 5 in a row. And that's one thing that St. Francis has not done all day. Even though St. Francis has outplayed Mayville for the most part over the last 3 sets, they've not gone on any big runs. And so even though they've held a consistent lead, it hasn't been by much more than 4 or 5 points at any stage. And that's left the door open for Mayville State, who has come back through it to take a 23-22 lead. Here's the serve from Hadrava. Anderson into the net, and the point goes to Mayville State. That makes this game point. 24-22. Game point for Mayville State, trying to force a 5th set. Angst for Anderson. Nice save by Hadrava. And back across to the Saints side. Angst sets up Stephanie Woods. It's blocked by Mayville State, but into the net, and so the Fighting Saints are still alive. Trailing 24-23. Brooklyn Withy needs this point. Or Mayville State will walk away with a fourth set victory. Here's Pesa. Withy dives, but that's down for a Mayville State point and a Mayville State victory. 25-23, they have tied it up, and it is 2-2. We'll play a fifth set after all. St. Francis dominated for so long. I shouldn't say dominated, but controlled the game for so long, the second, third, and fourth games. And yet Mayville State goes on a big run at the end of it. They outscore St. Francis 10-4 over the final 14 points. And we'll play one more set. I'll be back for that in just a moment. We're watching some exciting volleyball action here on the USF Sports Network. We've got one game still to be played here. We're tied 2-2. Mayville took the opening set 25-16. St. Francis took the next two closer games. And then in the fourth one, St. Francis led the entire way and appeared to be in control. They were up 19-15. And then a 5-0 run for Mayville kicked off what turned out to be a 10-4 run that ended the set 25-23. This is the first 5-set match of the season for St. Francis. For Mayville, it's the first one since September 12th. And they're fifth overall. They're 2-2 in their previous four. Here we go. First serve belongs to Jordan Lucas. It is away. Thanks for Anderson. And Anderson gives the Saints their first point. She seems to do that just about every game. The Saints have struck first, I think, in all 5 sets now, if I'm remembering correctly. Definitely in the last 4. And a little bit bigger this time because they're only playing to 15. So that first point is that much more important. Mayville State gets it right back. Victoria Johnson drives it home and makes it 1-1. Team leading 16 kills in the match for Johnson. Here's Anderson. She's got another one for the Saints. Anderson's got 13 kills for St. Francis, second behind Lauren Stefanski's 19. Here's the serve from Pacheco. Johnson taps it over. Saints keep it in the air. And Taylor Vallant gets it across. Vallant gets the point. Big point for Taylor Vallant. She was just trying to keep the rally going, but she'll take the result. Again, the Saints have an early lead. They've done this every game. They've gotten off to better starts than Mayville State has. And this start has gotten even better. On an ace from Hannah Pacheco, the score is 4-1. Another serve coming from Pacheco. Hadrava to the back line in Palmo. Stefanski is blocked, kept alive, and punched over by Peyton Baird. Pacheco can't keep that one alive as Baird was a little off balance trying to make the play, so the point goes to Mayville, a big one for them. They needed it to get back on track. 2-4 is the score, and the serve belongs to Mason Hart. Vallant tipped at the net, I believe. It was tipped, and so went out of bounds, but it's a point to St. Francis. Lindsey Johnson on the court trying to get further explanation. Didn't think that ball was tipped, but call was that it was tipped before it dropped out of bounds. So Taylor Vallant does get credit for the kill. And St. Francis gets a 3-point lead. Monfrey sends it right back Mayville's way by serving it into the net. Pacheco sets for Stefanski, and Stefanski brings home another kill. Her 20th tonight. St. Francis 6, Mayville State 3. Here's Pyburn tapping it across. Pacheco for Baird. Now on the other side, a block for St. Francis, still alive. And knocked out of bounds by Mayville State. St. Francis is ahead 7-3. And a timeout is called by Mayville State. Well, this game has started not dissimilarly to the last several. And Mayville State's been able to make a game out of each of the last three, in fact, even winning the fourth one. But there's a difference now since they're only playing to 15 instead of 25. They do not have time to dawdle in trying to make their comeback right now. So this next couple of points becomes huge for Mayville State. One thing we've come to expect is for the score at some point to be 7-5 for St. Francis. So that bodes well for Mayville State as they at least try to get the next 2 points. Can't speak for any of the 10 they need after that. Mayville State has outscored St. Francis overall today. They scored 99 points in the entire match. 99-98. Stefanski's serve is played by the Comets to the back line. Stefanski makes a nice reach. Here's Baird, blocked back the other way. Withy, cross court, diving effort by Mason Hart. Pitch to the back line and Stefanski. Here's Stephanie Woods, inbound. Stephanie Woods gives the Saints a commanding 5-point lead and gets them across the halfway threshold in trying to get this victory. Here's the serve from Stefanski. Pacheco for Woods. Another kill for Stephanie Woods. And the Saints are in total command right now, 9-3. That's Baird hitting that one across, and Stephanie Woods hit the net. So the point goes to Mayville State on the net violation. That snaps the St. Francis run and gets Mayville State back on the board, back in the game, trailing by 5. Pacheco for Baird. Baird gets it down. It was inbounds. And a point to St. Francis. It got the top of the net, and that was just enough to keep it from going out, I think. St. Francis up big here in the 5th set. Hill sets it up for Pesa, across to Zakis. Now Stephanie Woods, hit high in the air by Hill, and it's down. Another kill for Stephanie Woods. Woods has been relatively quiet throughout today's match, but she has stepped up here in the 5th set as Mayville State calls another timeout. They trail 11-4. And St. Francis is on the verge of picking up their 3rd consecutive victory. Each game since the first one, St. Francis has had an early lead. They've led by multiple points early on, and they've put themselves in position to pull away a couple of times. Mayville State has never allowed them to. The Comets have just kept on fighting. But they may have run out of steam here in the 5th set. It's not over yet, but the 7-point deficit is the biggest that they have faced in the entire match. 25-16 was Mayville State's win in the first game, and then Saints won 2 in a row, 27-25 and 25-21. 25-23, Mayville State evened it up in the 4th set, and this 5th one has been all Saints so far. Mason Hart receives the serve. Here's Pyburn inbounds. A much needed hit for Ashley Pyburn, a big time kill for the sophomore middle hitter. And now Mayville needs to go on one of those patented runs that they've had so often today. Angst for Withy. Here's Hill setting up Pyburn, and another kill for Ashley Pyburn. Mayville State's not done fighting just yet. 2 in a row for Pyburn. Here's Angst for Anderson, and Desiree Anderson just sneaks it in there. That puts a halt to Mayville's would-be scoring run. They're halted at just 2 points in a row. Saints are back up by 6. Brooklyn Withy set to serve. Here's Pesa, big hit from Elora Pesa. One of her more powerful swings of the entire day. It's a 5-point game as Jordan Lucas reclaims the serve for Mayville State. Angst for Anderson. Anderson goes a little too strong that time. Out the back line. It's 12-8. Next serve from Lucas, played by Taylor Valent. Angst for Woods. Woods forces it to the back line. Lucas is there to keep it alive for the Comets. Here's Paelmo to Angst. Stephanie Woods, played by Hill, and back across by Johnson. Valent is blocked by Johnson, still alive. Johnson again saved by the Saints. Victoria Johnson blocked by Woods, and the point goes to the Saints. Victoria Johnson had 3 or 4 attempts there that looked like they were going to be Mayville State points. And somehow the Saints just kept it alive, and finally they win the point on the block. Here's Zakis' serve. Zakis for Anderson. And Hadrava gets it across to the Comets. Here's Taylor Valent looking for the point for the Saints, but right into the net. Mayville State trails 13-9. They need to score 5 of the next 6 points to keep their chances alive. Stefanski makes it that much harder. Another kill for Lauren Stefanski. And it is match point for St. Francis. The server is Hannah Pacheco. And she serves it out of bounds. Mayville State still needs 4 in a row. That's a good start for them. They need 4 more in a row. Just to stay alive, they need 5 straight points overall. Paelmo loses control of it, and it is tapped down out of bounds. Point, game, and match to the Fighting Saints. And a wild end right there, as it looked like Mayville State was going to get a free point out of that, but blocked straight out. And the Saints catch the break, they get the victory, and they take this one in 5 sets, 15-10, the final score of the final set. A nice win for St. Francis. As they improve to 4-2 on the season, they've won their 3rd in a row, and they are now undefeated since resuming play in the spring. And that's what matters. Those fall results, not terribly important really in the grand scheme of things. A couple of non-conference games. They're really trying to get on a roll now in the spring. Look at some of the final numbers from today's 5-set victory for St. Francis. They were led by Lauren Stefanski. Stefanski finished with 21 kills, along with 5 blocks in this game. Mayville State got a team-leading 17 kills from Victoria Johnson. Elora Passa had 16. St. Francis, the contributions from Desiree Anderson, 14 kills. Brooklyn Withy had 10. Hannah Pacheco finished with 29 assists. Katie Zakis, 42 digs in the game for the Fighting Saints. Saints will play one more time. They'll take on Ottawa University in, I don't know, I guess probably about a half hour. Originally scheduled for 7 o'clock, but since this one went long, that'll start, I guess, at about 7:30 Central Time. St. Francis now 1-0 on the day. Mayville State finishes up 1-1. They pick up a 3-set victory over Governor State before a hard-fought 5-set loss to St. Francis. Again, our final scores here. St. Francis wins it in 5 sets, 16-25, 27-25, 25-21, 23-25, and 15-10 in the finale. Good win for St. Francis. They'll try to do it again in just a little bit, and I'll be back with you for the broadcast on that. Make sure you come on back to the St. Francis YouTube page and get your full schedule, as always, at GoFightingSaints.com. Until then, Terry Bonadonna signing off for the moment. Talk to you in a little bit.